Moya Harvest FM ke a o dumedisa ke lehlohonolo wa ha Masilo wa hao wa ka mehla, and you know re nako e ohle ha o bona wa tseba hore taba tse monate sentse di le teng, mme ke o dumedisa tjena letsatsing la kajeno ke le ka mona ka new Mellinium ka mane ka moo kunywa lekgowa ka mona basti ho bua sekgowa ka mona, mme le nna o tla nkutlwa today hore yeah ntse se le teng madi. So today we're going to talk about shift e bileng teng ka bona ya Lesotho while politically. So re tlo sheba hore na bana kapo batho ba batjha ba banyane ba ntseng ba weleng bona ga ba bitsang bokamoso ba naha ya Lesotho na bona ba ikutlwa jwang, hobane every time ha ho nkuwa maikutlo a batho ba baholo. Mamela radio ke motho wa moholo a buang, o shebella TV ke motho wa moholo ya ntseng a bua, mme ka jeno re tlo utlwa hore na bana bona ba ikutlwa jwang ka ditaba tsena tse etsahetseng, shift ena e etsahalang ka hare ho naha ya Lesotho. Re shebile haholo taba tsa tsamaiso ya naha e leng puso ka kotloloho, mme he pela ka mona ke sentse ke na le kgaitsedi ya ka ke bilela hore wa chisa kupsiso hore na ho baneng ho kgethilwe ena, empa he re tla utlwa ditaba tsa hae hore na ena as a person, as a child, as a youth in this country na o ikutlwa jwang ka shift ena e etsahetseng ka hare ho naha ya Lesotho politically. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Or how are you? So what's your name?
My name is
Kamohets.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Odula, okay. Happy.
Yes.
Oh, it's a great man.
Grade 11.
Grade 11. How do you feel right now? But how do you feel?
Nervous.
Feel free. Who bilele shift selemo sena wa tseba ke selemo seo politically it is the elections year this year, and on the 7th we went on the general elections, the whole country, and prior to that politicians were all over. We are gonna do this. Take us through your personal journey. How did you feel when they were campaigning from village to village, from district to district? How are you feeling prior to elections?
Prior to the elections, I feel like as a young person, you find that we're not really interested in politics, or we don't really care for what's going on in our country politically. But we saw a lot of youth engaging in politics because we felt that there is hope now, because we saw someone who we believe in or who is a big influencer in our country being there, and therefore I felt hope, and I actually for the first time was supporting someone or voting for someone to win during the campaigning.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
You were 16?
Yes.
And this year it was your first time to be interested in politics?
Yes.
Because of somebody?
Yes, sir.
Who is that somebody?
The Right Honorable Prime Minister Matekane.
What gave you hope that he has the power, or he has the right plans, or he can take this country to better heights?
I believe that people that were in the government, I didn't really believe that they know what they were doing. But with we all know that our Prime Minister, we know his financial status, and I felt that he knew what he was doing, or he's going to take our country to greater heights because he's financially literate, he has financial intelligence, and I believe that he's going to take our country to like greater heights.
What would you say to him if say you had a chance to talk one-on-one with him, like he's here, you are here, and he's saying to you, what do you want, my child, in this country? What would you say to him?
First of all, I would say I believe in him. And then I would also tell him that as youth, we're not really, there's not much attention on us. And we'd like him to invest in the youth. We'd like him to invest in entrepreneurship, first in education from a lower level. We'd like to see entrepreneurship being taught, because unemployment is a huge thing. And he said that in his speech he wants to see the public sector contribute to our GDP, and he could do that or go towards that goal by investing in young people, in their talent, in giving a voice to them, in actually investing in our skills, and therefore that is going to drive more people, more young people being in businesses and not being dependent financially on the government, and therefore our economy, I believe, is going to improve once we invest in young people, because we're quite powerful and we are considered to be the future for this country.
What impact can you have if that happened? You as a person, what impact can you have in this country? What would you do?
I'm in love with art, and especially speaking. I love speaking, and I've seen a lot of young people. I've engaged with art of young people in this country recently, and I would probably promote art, poetry, singing, drawing, visual art, and I would also promote language, our language. We love it, the young people loving our language and loving our country and actually doing something or making loving the love of our country cool. I don't know how to put it, but something like that. I believe that our language is beautiful and we need more of it. We need to be taught the beautiful side of it that is not only taught in school, and I would promote it and use our language in our art and things like that.
Do you feel like Hara appreciate Sesotho enough?
We don't. Even people that know Sesotho, they don't do much to make sure that the future, the young people know Sesotho. They don't do much, and I think that's something that I would want to work towards.
And you think art is the only language that can teach people to appreciate Sesotho?
The youth are in the art, so they're focused on art, so that's the only way we'll start appreciating our language.
You're smart, you know that?
Thank you.
Wow. Muhi, I'm blown away. I didn't see this coming. I definitely had no idea that she is this mature, because Harabuaka art, we are talking about something that took South Africa to where it is today. Harabuaka art, we are talking about something, an industry creating billionaires in this planet. And to hear a young person like this talk this way about art, wow. Interview but we have a few others but manlena ba go tlo ukwa maikutlo a bona le bona ka taba ena ya shift e tsaitseng ka rona ya Lesotho. In closing, ka di 2018 la ha o hlomamiswa, the person that you hoped hore a ka nka naha ena a isa to better heights, greater heights, and all of a sudden we are Dubai, but on that day, I don't know if you were listening to radio, you were watching TV, or you were on your smartphone, I don't know. But how did you feel when you heard what he said as PM?
I was actually watching TV, and when I heard his speech, I felt he was very informed. I heard the love in what he was saying. Mm-hmm. He wasn't giving us promises. He was telling us strategies that we're going to use. He spoke about a lot of things that our country needs to work on. And I felt like people made the right choice. People that were voting for him, they voted on my behalf, and I'm thankful to those people that voted for him. Did
you ever pray that he becomes the Prime Minister?
Yes, we did pray.
Wow, your answer your prayer is answered.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Next. Hello, beautiful.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Feel free. Relax. Muhi ke na le moithuti wa ka mona ka New Mellinium le ena ka tsela e tshwanang re tlo ukwa maikutlo a hae ka the shift that has happened ka hara naha ena, mme bile ke dumela hore ena jwalo ka ha o mmona ke Mosotho yo re ka reng the elder tsa hae come from outside. Maybe ena originally o hlaetse ka hara naha ena, o holela ka hara naha ena, but how mo shebile fela o sontse o bona hore the elder tsa hae ba holo ba hae ba originator from the other country. Mme ke taba e thabisang haholo hobane wa tseba nakong ya di-campaign ho la wa ba le tabanyana hore he ho na le be seng Basotho, ho na le be leng Basotho and all that. Re tlo utlwa hore na ela mo tshwara jwang hana jwale. How does she feel? Hello again, how are you?
I'm good.
What's your name?
Jueria.
Jueria. Okay. Jueria, where do you originate? Where does your family originate?
My father is Indian, while my mother is a native Lesotho.
Oh, nice. So you're sort of a colored.
I'm a colored, yes.
Wow. Do you ever, by any chance, feel like people are treating you in some racist vibes?
Yes. It's because I don't know where the culture came from. I think it maybe emanated from South Africa, whereby people think foreigners are bad for the country, or they take away from the people in and of themselves. And as a person who usually most Basotho people don't think of me as a Mosotho, even though I was born here, I've been raised here and I grew up here. You face a level of scrutiny that is unnecessary and sometimes even violence. Like, my parents were targeted because my mother, somehow she doesn't conform as looking Mosotho, and so she's a victim of attack. We are forced to feel unsafe in many of the neighborhoods we live in.
Do you still feel like that?
There's hope. So I don't really feel that way. There's slight hope because of I like to believe that it was because of the elections why there was such a rise in crime rate to Basotho and non-Basotho themselves, or people that don't conform in that way.
Okay, how do you feel about the shift that has happened in the country?
Excited, hopeful, and I have a lot of hope in the country now. I, as an individual that struggled with identity, it was tough for me to feel patriotic about Lesotho as a country because our political state felt very unstable. When I looked at when I looked at other countries, I saw this political stability. When I looked at our own, I was thinking, why can't we push forward? But now I think there's hope for us as a country as a whole.
How did you feel when people were saying RFP is promoting or selling the country, in quotes, selling the country by allowing who they regarded as a foreigner? The person, I don't remember his name, but he's from Butabuti. He's an Indian. His family is from India, but he's now a Mosotho. But Basotho regarded him as a foreigner still, while documents legally he's a Mosotho. How did you feel in the process? How did you feel?
Conflicted, because I think I understand the perspective when it comes from. You think to yourself, they're a foreigner. What if we end up being colonized once more? What if they don't have our best interest at heart? What if they encourage corruption? But on the flip side, it makes me wonder, what if he's being genuine? What if it is actually a genuine person who... And when you look at the history, because just like our honorable Prime Minister right now, we saw the ways in which he helped the country despite not being president, despite not having a place in the parliament. We saw and we witnessed it in COVID, to be specific, where he really shone and it was brought to light. So what if the person did the same? What really
Genuinely
was very genuine, was very helpful, and was loved by the people around him? Why would that stop him from doing that?
Are you happy about the government that we have now?
Yes.
What makes you happy?
I think because when I look at the Prime Minister as we speak now, he has been a source of inspiration for many of my classmates, myself, parents even. And when I look at what he's been doing now, and I remember reading an article about him, and he promised that he won't take the money that comes with being Prime Minister, and I thought that's very exciting. And I read further, he said that he has a plan, a 100-day plan in which they want to implement, and so far I see that happening. So I think he's a faithful person and a person who's to be trusted.
What would you say to him if he was here? If I were him, standing in front of you and say, my child, what do you want in this country?
Peace and an ability to prosper, to feel stable as a youth, because I'd like to believe that when I'm done with my education, I have a job secured for me. I don't have to hunt outside of my country. I don't have to look for further qualifications, because our qualifications are recognized worldwide. Because you find that some of us, we have to do specific qualifications to be recognized internationally. But I want it such that our education system gives leeway, or even is broad enough that we as the youth can prosper out of school.
Looking at your origin as a family, and looking at Lesotho right now, do you feel like our education system is serving us as Basotho? Like we're producing very big numbers of lawyers, your engineers, and they are unemployed as we speak, and those are the youth. Do you feel like our education system is serving us as Basotho?
I definitely think it's not, because there's assessments that need to be looked at. It needs to be carefully assessed such that we can be standardized with everybody else, with every other country, so that if our youth want to be recognized internationally, if say they want to go out of the country to get a job, it will be easy for them. They should be wanted. They should be that 1% that everybody seeks for. But our education, exactly. But our education doesn't really allow that. It doesn't give them enough opportunities. It doesn't allow them time to have a network, because that's one key thing that can help in gaining a job. Internships, speaking for our youth, and of course even the equipment. We need a lot of equipment. Things like engineering, computer science. As much as they are ahead of the times and they're the future, if I should say, of the world, we don't really have the equipment to do that. We don't allow them the opportunity and give them a fair chance in the fight, such that they can prosper so well.
And still there are courses that are not available in the country,
which is very unfortunate. And I think it's unfair to some of us, because not everybody has the same talent, and some people contribute to society in a different way. Just because someone else is good at this teaching, for instance, the other one would prefer performance art, and they actually have,
and it's not here,
and it's not available to us.
What would you say to the Ministry of Education?
Please listen to us. Like,
they are listening to you now.
Please try and understand where we're coming from. Please look at the other countries like even African countries alike, South Africa included. We are enclosed in South Africa, yet it seems that we are behind. We are like the old
way behind.
They are forward, and it's almost like they're the future, yet we are stuck in the past. I think we should take examples from other countries, African countries included, European countries from all the likes that we can, and look at the education system, how they go about it, and implement it ourselves.
Wow, I wish they could listen to you. I so wish. Mui, ke maikutlo a batjha, and honestly, nexa nahana ntwetsi. Ho hang nexa nahana hore batho ba banyane jwalo ka this beautiful lady right here ba ka nahana ka tsela ena eo a nahanang ka yone. Ne ke sa nahana hore ba ka mpha ditaba tsa bohlokwa ha kana. I'm even getting the vibes tsa hore some of them are way better than our ministers. Some of them, they will be sleeping in the parliament and say, imagine, and a youth amokana ngwana mokana o bua ditaba tsa mofuta ona ha le tona le leng le go le khaleile ka hara parliament ka hara ntlo ya setjhaba. I'm getting the vibes tsa hore we should have a youth parliament ya hore batho ba bakana maikutlo a ka rengana a discuss ka mono for the benefit of the country, for the benefit of us as Basotho. Thank you so much. Thank you. Next, I need a boy now. I need a boy now. My brother.
Hello, sir.
Shabuzit.
Oh, that's a problem.
Kapu, I should live. Eh?
No problem. Anyway.
Hola. Shabuzit.
Oh, that's a bad.
What's up with strategy?
Every language.
Every language. Every
language.
What's your name?
Rabudinyani.
O hlaha ho kae?
Khubetswana.
Metlakase. Banna ba tsebahala ka hore they are strong, they are leaders, they are visionaries. Empa taba eno ha e hlakole hore le basadi, women are leaders, they are visionaries, but we are known to be stronger. Especially potomane ya rona e hle batla e lebetere, and la go shebile fela I can see a leader.
It might be true.
I can see a leader. When I'm looking at you, I see a leader. And I want to know, how did you feel ha di-leader tse ding politically di ne ntse di-campaigner, you as a young leader?
Like she previously said that we were not really into politics. So the moment Ntsokoane Matekane patched in, we saw revolution. We saw something happening because compared to other countries, you'll find that the person who's to lead the country is a person who can lead himself or herself. Ka Lesotho ho thwe ha o motho ya ka fepang setjhaba ka lela le lapileng.
Okay.
Thank you for that one.
Okay.
So in that case, when Ntsokoane badged in, we had faith in him because he's able to contain himself. And those are the people we put in before him. We did not really know their good qualities compared to the ones we know about him. Because as far as reality is concerned, Ntsokoane Matekane has been doing a lot for this country. Even before he campaigned, even before he wanted to be the Prime Minister, but he has been doing a lot for the country. That is what made us believe.
As an individual, as a person, personally,
Yes.
him outside
of the system.
politics.
Yeah. He was a pillar to numerous activities done in the country.
And could you say that's what drew most of the youth to him?
Which is it's true. That is what really happened is that Ntsokoane Matekane is, like she said, he's an inspirator, I might put that way. But then only to find out that everyone in this country is striving a goal towards him.
Okay.
So the moment you strive to go to someone, but then you put that someone out of the parliament,
Out of the system.
that does not make sense. Because if he's fortunate enough to contain himself, it's an obvious thing that he will